So if you're talking about your co-wife like she's nothing, like she doesn't matter, what if it was you? Now, if it was you and she did that, she's wrong all day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. This is Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, in this video, you guys, I want to speak to you all about something that is very upsetting in the world of polygyny, and which is just another form of marriage. And we like to act like it's not. It is another form of marriage which predates Islam, as we always say in our videos, because it is always true. Now, in this video, I want to address a topic of treatment and co-wives. What does that mean? I've been noticing in some different emails or questions or just observation that co-wives tend to do this thing where they don't mind if their co-wife is in pain, or they celebrate the fact that their co-wife is in pain. They feel like they're winning because their co-wife is experiencing some form of pain. And we got to start asking ourselves some pretty hard questions about our character if we're celebrating the pain of our co-wife or wives. If she's not having a good day, some people feel great about that. I've seen in different comments on different platforms that one specifically that really made me mad was the women were asking questions to a speaker on a social media platform. I don't know her name, don't need to. The commentary was enough for me. But well, what was said was that, well, what if your co-wife needed a ride? What if, what do you do? How do you feel about her needing a ride from your husband to get from one point to another? And the woman said, well, let her stand out there and let her freeze. Let her walk. And she was being applauded in her comments for this venom that was coming out of her mouth. And I was very upset by that because I said, okay, now if the tables were turned and your co-wife was the one saying that that is the practice that your husband should have, that is the attribute of a king, and you're okay with that, what does that say about you? If it was you and she said, let her freeze, let her starve, let her go homeless, let her go without her rights, because some men rob their wives of rights, some women rob their husbands of their rights. To be clear, it does happen. I'm not going to act like it doesn't. But what also is happening is this toxicity in the polygyny or the poly community where the wives are pitting themselves against each other. And I know that everybody doesn't get along. They don't have to get along. They can be cordial. But to say such horrendous things such as let her walk, let the kids, my kid doesn't have to meet their kids. This is my child. You have to think about the narcissistic nature of the words that are coming out of your mouth and the violence therein. You have to have a certain amount of class and composure when you're in polygyny. It is not an easy lifestyle to be in, but it is not an impossible lifestyle to be in. And once we say this is an impossibility, I'm not going to try, I don't care, let her starve, let her walk, because they're little raggedy children, and all these different things such as that. Do you want that said about you, your children, your situation, your marriage? Something so little as saying this is a little comment, or it's, oh, Coach Fatimah, it's in jest, it's a joke. We all know there's truth in joke. We all know there's truth in jest. Even if it's the smallest amount, even if it's the smallest amount, If that is the intention of the person, they have to think about their character. So if you want that for your co-wife, let her starve, let her walk, let her go homeless, forget them kids. They're not my kids. Of course they're not your kids. I mean, duh, we know that. And it's stating the obvious. But would you want your children treated that way? Would you want your co-wife speaking about your children that way? Sometimes some men don't have the courage to do what they need to do. Sometimes their personality and their intention doesn't take them where they have to go. We all know that. Sometimes they play with time. Sometimes they play with finances. We know that. So we talk about not doing that. And we also talk about not being the toxic one in the whole thing, in the whole lifestyle. So if you're talking about your co-wife like she's nothing, like she doesn't matter, what if it was you? Now, if it was you and she did that, she's wrong all day and should be condemned for her comments. Some of these brothers not playing when it comes to polygyny, and they care. They actually care about the rights of their wives. They actually care about the rights of their children. They care about their own rights. They want to be consistent. They don't want to be hot one day and cold the next. But the ones that are trying to figure it out, let them figure it out. But it's a difficulty on the entire family when one wife is saying, let her just not have any rights. Let her just exist. I don't care. As long as I get what I'm supposed to be getting. Check your attitude. Check your intentions if you are that person, because what you're going to do is find yourself alone. There's a lot of people running around married that are in a house and they feel lonely with their spouse. Whole lot. But you got to wonder, how are you presenting yourself? Can they see your selfishness? Can they see your narcissism? Because one thing about narcissists is they think they're so good at it that nobody can see it.
I am Coach Nazir.
And I'm Coach Fatimah, his wife.
And I am Coach Nyla. I am also his wife.
We are the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as the authors of the book, Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. And I'm sure you're asking yourself, how can you get your hands on a copy of it right now? The great part is, we're about to share that with you, but first, let me tell you about why you need to at least get your hands on one or maybe more copies, depending on where you are in your polygynous journey.
Some of the things that we discuss in our book are issues about trust, insecurities, jealousy among wives, and maybe even, possibly even, creating lasting friendships.
Especially friendships amongst co-wives. And we share in this book how you can understand that it takes a village, that polygyny is not some taboo topic or something that's going to leave women stranded alone and kids not loving each other or feel like they're left alone by their fathers or from their fathers or whatever the case may be. You will learn so much in this book. Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored.
Indeed, we lay down the practical steps that we wish we'd had when we started our polygynous journey over 13 years ago. Well, the time is here, and all you have to do, go to letstalkpolygamy.com. Order a copy, order the bundle, do whatever it is you need to do so there's no more excuses, and we making marriage great again by reminding people of polygamy, which is an ancient solution to a modern day problem. Let's talk polygamy.com. Get your pre-sale order on. With that being said,
make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level
every single day.
Visit the link. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Peace.
People will ultimately figure it out, but those of us that have studied narcissism see it immediately. See it immediately and go red flag. But see, we always want the narcissist to be the man because he's got 2 wives. He got to be a narcissist. He's got to be. He's got to be a narcissist. But there are narcissistic women and co-wives that are in this lifestyle, and they're making it difficult on not only others, but themselves. And they wonder why the connection is lost between them and their spouse. They wonder why the connection cannot be made between them and their co-wife, because they're saying things like, leave her on the curb. I don't care about her. Let her walk. Let her starve. That's their kids, not mine. Woo, woo, woo. And they just keep going and digging that hole deeper and deeper and deeper. Understand, like I said before, your attitude, the way you carry yourself, is going to take you either up into the right or it's going to take you down. Protect your ego. If it is a bad one, protect it. That's fine. Do more. And then you'll find yourself with less. I had to say that because I was so upset by this video that was circulating and this comment and this applause that this woman was getting because she was just sitting there dogging her co-wife, thinking she looked good and she was looking like a fool the whole time. So make sure you check your attitude, your intentions, and carry yourself with some class and have some composure, even in the difficult, challenging times. We're not robots, we're people. We feel, but it's about responding and not reacting to every single little thing that might be annoying to you, but to try to take and say, well, this is my set of rights and forget hers. For a husband to say, I'm going to build this family with this wife and not this one over here. I'll just leave her on the side. He has to check his attitude and his actions just the same for polygyny to work. Everybody, co-wives, everybody. So show up in the times of challenge, composed. If you got to have a hard conversation, have it, schedule it. But when you have one, be willing to speak your mind in a respectful way and be willing to listen. That's the beauty of having a conversation. It's got more than one side to it. So hearing someone else, listening and not just hearing, telling them what your experience is, and going back and forth in a calm manner. Because then you both get your answers. Then you both can find understanding, you get some clarity, and figure out what you're going to do. And if you can't do it in that one conversation, schedule another at the appropriate time. And we don't make the demands for the conversation. We make the request for the conversation because everybody's grown. And we're not going to act like they're not. Okay? So I had to get that out there. If you don't have anything nice to say, especially keep your mouth closed on a social media platform about your co-wife, because you never know how you might feel in the end about her. You never know how you might need her, and she might need you. So to say damaging things, such as let her walk, let her starve, let her suffer is what you're saying. Think about if it was you and the shoe was on the other foot. For those of us that are Muslim, salam, we should know better. We should know better. We have to be better for it to get better. That's not going to fall on our lap. I say it all the time. Some people might hate me for it, but you can hate me for something good that I do instead of something bad that I do. Hate me for the good. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys got some gems from this video. I know I can be rough sometimes, but that's okay. I need to be, because sometimes people can hear that better. And I like to get to the point of things, and I like to create solutions for issues, especially some that should not be existing. And these attacks on social media and spewing, like I said, venom from your mouth about co-wife, husband, whatever the case may be. If you can't speak about your situation kindly and with some class and with some self-control, be quiet until you learn more about how to do that and be more of an effective communicator, or do these things where you don't have a stage to receive applause, or you want this toxic praise from people who don't want you to win anyway. They want you to break up. You know, that's what it looks like to me. So make sure you guys are following us on our social media platforms. On IG, we're Outstanding Relationships, and on Facebook and YouTube, we're Outstanding Personal Relationships. And I'm going to leave you guys with a little GLC like we always do. Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. And if you're interested in more about Outstanding Personal Relationships, make sure you check us out at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/store. Hit that notification bell, like, comment, and subscribe. If you are new to us, make sure you hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.